All right, well, it's time to go to October the 19th. After the Sooner Schooner rolls into Dallas, they'll stay on the road outside of Norman, and they'll head up the road to Lawrence, Kansas. The Kansas Jayhawks are manned out by Charlie Weiss, who went 1-11 last year, 0-9 in the Big 12, finishing them last in the Big 12 in 10th place, since we no longer have 12 teams. Their one win last year came against San Diego State University, 31-17 in Lawrence, Kansas. The exact next week, they lost a heartbreaker, 24-25 to Rice. That was their closest game that they came to winning. Players that were missed from this team, Dane Christ threw for 1,313 yards last season. 43 was his longest pass, and that one was against San Diego State University. Defensively will be Bradley McDougal. McDougal had 92 tackles last year, 3 picks, 0 forced fumbles, and 0 fumble recoveries. The offensive scoring for Kansas going 0-11, only winning 1 game against San Diego State University. As you can tell, they weren't great offensively, only scoring 18.3 points per ball game as an average. The overall record between these two teams, Kansas and Oklahoma, 70-26-6. 8-2 in the Big 12 era. They've only met those 10 times because through 1996 to 2010, with 12 teams in the conference, they switched off every year with Kansas, Kansas State, and Iowa State, and Missouri, Colorado, and the rest of the Big 12 North, Nebraska. As far as the offense that's left on campus, they still have Michael Cummings. Last year was a freshman. Threw for 457 yards, 3 touches. 51 was his longest. And it came right here in our stadium in Owen Field at Oklahoma. Helping him run the ball will be James Sams, 218 yards, 1,013 yards last year, 9 touchdowns. 64 was his long, and it came against the Shorthorns of Texas in Lawrence. Tony Pearson will be the other running back. He had 117 carries last year for 790 yards, 4 touches. His long was a little bit longer at 69 yards. That one came on the road at Texas Tech. Wide receivers for this team that will be huge. Tony Pearson not only was a great running back out of the backfield, but he was also a good flanker receiver out of there. Last year, Pearson, as far as receiving yards, had 21 catches for 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, with a long of 42 yards coming at West Virginia. On his other side will be Andrew Tizzoli. Tizzoli had 17 catches last year for 287 yards, 0 touches. 42 was his long, and it came against Texas Christian there in Lawrence. Defensively, helping replace McDougal will be one guy will be Ben Henley. Henny actually had 212 tackles last year, 0 picks, a forced fumble, and 0 fumble recoveries. And also will be Taylor Patman. Patman had 82 tackles, 3 interceptions, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries in that last year in 2012. I don't expect a lot out of this Kansas team this year either. I think that they'll be. I think that they'll get there eventually. Charlie Weiss, coach, but thus far, from what I've seen from Kansas, I'm just gonna put it to you this way: they play basketball in their parts, not football. And with that being said, I think Oklahoma continues, and I think that they're going to win this ball game. Should be by double figures. The game will be played in Lawrence. This series has been played in Norman. It's been played in Lawrence, and it was played 1 year in Kansas City in the Chiefs Arrowhead Stadium 1 year. Bomar's year in 07. Or 05, I'm sorry, 05. But this year it will be played in Lawrence. Till next time, everyone take care, and as always, Boomer Sooner, everybody.